All right, guys. So today is obviously back bendy sort of day. Okay, so working on back bridge and a little bit of pancake middle split type of work. And what we're going to start off with, as always, is our headquarters and our spine. Okay, so nice and simple, nothing too crazy. We're going to keep things pretty relaxed this morning. Okay, for the spine. So we're going to try kind of venture out in as many directions as possible. So we'll start with the most basic one. Okay, which is going to be this is forward and backwards motion. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to just have our legs wide. And again, this can be as wide as you want it to be. Okay. Obviously, it doesn't need to be like a middle split. What I would love to kind of see is, for you to just hold on to your elbows. Okay. Like so. And then just, like we normally do, like, typical Jefferson cues, we're going to slowly just tuck our chin onto the chest and think about really rounding the upper back as you slowly start to make your way down to the ground. And then you're going to take a pause at the bottom. And then all we're going to do here is we're just going to shuffle a little side to side at the bottom. Again, nothing too crazy, nothing too violent, okay? And then once you kind of reach both sides, you're going to come back to the middle and then slowly just keeping that chin tucked in, slowly draw that tummy to the back of the spine and slowly start to stand up upright and then looking straight ahead. Okay, so the movement's pretty simple. We're going to tuck the chin in. We're going to round the upper back slowly, round and start to come forward. Try segment each vertebra at a time, making our way as low as possible. And then again, we're going to just hang out here for a second or two. Then when we're ready, we're going to just reach or rotate to the side a little bit, come back to the middle, and then we're going to go to the other side. And then back to the middle, just take a pause or so. And then slowly, gradually making a way. Cool. And let's keep repeating this process. Okay, so nice and straightforward, nothing too crazy. Okay, we're just going to allocate some solid time. So just like 2 minutes on the clock. So again, it doesn't really matter how many reps you get in there. Okay, just don't do it fast. Just listen to that body. You initially feel obviously the spine, things to the back, and then the legs at the bottom. Try to stay connected to the breath. And what I mean by connected to the breath is see if you can actually use your breath to, relax a little bit or reach a little bit deeper. Or just keep you a little bit more sane through those bits where you feel like a little bit uncertain. Like challenge yourself to go as slow as possible for at least one rep. And keep it going. Taking your sweet time, kind of whatever feels good, maybe spend a couple of seconds extra there. Okay, but keep it moving. We'll make this our last rep. Okay, and we'll kind of gather our feet together, shake it off, whatever needs to happen. Just take your time, okay, if you're still finishing it up. From here, we're going to go still obviously stick to the spine a little bit, but we're going to kind of just work a little bit laterally. Okay, so meaning kind of, we're going to just open the side body up a little bit. And the thing that we've been playing with is, we'll just do that Simon Says again. So that way you can just follow me. Okay, so we'll kind of look to kind of open the left side up, which means I'm going to take my right leg in front of me. Okay, which means my left leg is straight, okay, and planted really strongly, okay? My right leg could be in balls of your feet, whatever needs to happen, okay? The left hand is gonna come behind the head, and then I'm gonna try reach my right hand down towards the ground. So effectively what I'm doing here is leaning to the right side in order to lengthen the left side, okay? It's very, very basic. And then we're gonna posture up. Okay, let's just do a couple of reps first. Okay, just kind of familiarize yourself with what's happening and, make any adjustments you need to from the feet that you may need to stay strong and stable. Okay, so should have done a couple of reps, should feel good, okay, should be aware of what we're trying to do. So this is the position that we're going to stay in. And what I want to focus on this morning is, guys, what's the best way to show you this? Okay, I'll stand sideways. Okay, so, we normally say, imagine there's a wall in front of you and a wall behind you. So effectively, we just want to kind of, bend straight to the side. So this morning, what we're going to do is we're going to just open up, minute and a half, 90 seconds. And what I want to do is staying in the same position from the lower body, but this morning, I want you to just kind of play with the spine a little bit. So effectively, still kind of, we're going to be looking to open the left side, but this time, yes, you have the option of going straight to the side, but maybe, okay, the next rep, you're starting kind of like falling a little bit more forward, maybe. Okay, maybe the next rep, we're starting to arch up back a little bit and go. Now, each of these movements is going to obviously, tap into slightly different area. So again, we're not looking to crank things up. We're not trying to set a PB. Okay, you're just looking to merely just explore different positions. Think about it that way. Okay, so again, I don't care about reps. I don't care about speed. Okay, just kind of like take it slow and, okay, look to explore. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. When you're ready, we've got to warm very quickly. Okay. And again, when you're at the bottom, maybe you want to hang for a second or two, just so, you spend some quality time under tension. Maybe it just feels nice, okay? You do want to make sure you stand nice and tall to finish the rep off. And that's your starting point to, start to explore a different range. If you feel a little bit, like I'm not sure what's happening, or like, it feels a little bit weird, what I would suggest is, when you're in the end ranges, look to take 2 to 3 nice full breath in. So what I mean by that is, let's say wherever you are, okay, so, your head or your hand is dropping down towards the right side, just pause there and take a full breath again. So essentially just giving yourself that little bit more time just to kind of, let the body know it's okay. I'm okay in this position. We obviously need to be strong from the legs. Okay, so the lower body, especially the left side, is stable. But the weight of the head and the hand bring you down towards the right side. We've got the last 20 seconds coming up or so. We'll make this our last rep, guys. Okay, once you're done, just unwind yourself and shake it off a little bit maybe, okay? And we'll just go on to the next side. So again, Simon says we're going to be, obviously, looking at the right side, which means the left leg is going to come in front of us, okay? We're going to also place our right hand behind the head, and then we're going to be reaching our left hand to the right, left side. Jesus, okay, all over the show this morning. Here we go, minute and a half, okay? So just start with the basic, maybe just reaching straight to the side. If you're game, then you can explore, say, different corners or sides. Remember, you're always standing tall to finish things off or to start things. Okay. Losing my balance this morning. Make this our last rep coming up, guys. When you're done, and just shake it off, unwind yourself. Okay, so just nice and easy, nothing too crazy. Okay, what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna move the spine a little bit. Now, when we're in the studio, we have music on. Obviously, we have some people helping us sometimes, with the Zen Archer and things like that. Okay, so we're gonna try to do this without any of those things. Okay, maybe most of your partners are still in bed, so we can't make much noise anyway. Okay, so you got to be silent. Okay, so what I want to see happen here is we're just gonna go for another 90 seconds, just minute and a half. And what we're looking to do here is this. We're going to have, or we're going to allow ourselves to have our feet, a little bit wide, maybe under the shoulder width apart. This way, we've got a good amount of base. Okay, this way, we can come into tippy toes, heels, whatever we need to. Okay, so we have strong base. Okay, now from here, we're going to look to move the spine, and we want to give you like a green card to basically effectively move in any way you want to in any direction. Okay, so we just worked in a little bit of a frontal plane, so kind of just going forwards and backwards, and we just kind of started to bend sideways and started to explore different, corners, if you like. So there is no right or wrong. We're going to simply just think about in, as many ways as possible, we're going to just move the spine. We can allow ourselves to bend and lift our tippy toes off, but we're not going to, move around the room kind of thing. Okay, so what I want you to think about here, if I give you this maybe front 45 view, we obviously know we can come forwards. Okay, we know we can go to the side. Okay, so effectively we can create wave whatever we want to, but also reaching back behind us. Maybe the extension is also available to us. Okay, and also kind of trying to be creative, in terms of how much rotation we can get. Okay, trying to go into different corners. Okay, the only thing I'm going to say to you is, let's not kind of squat down per se. Yes, we can obviously use that, lower body, but not because of, not squatting kind of thing. Okay, they're there to help us move the spine. Okay, so minute and a half. Let's look at what comes out of this. Okay, we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So just nice and simple. Okay, nothing is done super fast. Effectively, what we're doing here is looking to move the spine in as many ways as possible. You're weird doing this, just embrace it. Okay. something that often helps me is just the way where I'm looking. Okay, so if I quickly, kind of keep looking around, my head is going to try to follow wherever I'm looking. Wherever I'm trying to look, my head is going to go. Wherever my head goes, my shoulder tends to follow. And wherever my shoulder tends to go, my hip tries to accommodate that a little bit. That's just a simple way, okay? So effectively, you are looking where you want to go a little bit. Okay, or you can just close your eyes and just embrace it. Last couple of seconds. Okay, let's finish it off and rest. Okay, not bad, not bad. We survived. Okay, let's go on down. Okay, and we're just going to give that spine a little bit of rest. We're just going to go into a little bit of wrist prep. Obviously, we are going to be spending some time on our hand with back bendy stuff. Okay, so it's integral. We obviously prepare our wrist for that. And what we're going to do, guys, is keeping it super simple. We're going to start with our fingers pointed back towards our knees, okay? And what I want you to kind of do this morning, okay, is simply just kind of rocking forwards and backwards like we normally do. So you're just looking to kind of check in with what the wrists are doing this morning. And if this is okay, we'll just kind of, rock a little side to side, maybe a little kind of backwards semicircle. So effectively, we're sitting back as we create this, semicircle. And then from here, we're going to go fingers pointing straight ahead, straight away. And I'm going to kind of just plant this concept in your head. Of course, we can sit back onto our heels and look, there's little to no weight on our hands, okay? So at the bare minimum, I would love for you to at least bring your hands, close to your knees and look to bring your shoulders slightly over your fingers. That way there's a little bit more load at your wrist, okay? Of course, if you're confident, you can walk out a little bit forward. And again, you can look to even get that shoulder slightly ahead of your fingers, okay? But what I want to see happen here, guys, is what we call heel push-ups or first knuckle push-ups, which is effectively raising the heel of your palms up and then slowly lowering them on the ground. So effectively, we're looking to do calf raises for our forearms, okay? And what I want to see happen here, so this is obviously the knuckle, okay? Boom, everybody knows where the knuckle is. We're trying to be, okay, on that front, okay, or the back of the knuckle, if that makes sense, right? So effectively, my fingers, my heel of the palms come up, but I want to be landing on that back of the knuckle. We're not looking to peel, so from sideways, we're not looking to get the fingers, okay? So we're gonna come up to the bullments of your fingers. Think about it that way, okay? So if you're ready, let's just kind of place those hands onto the ground. Fingers should be nice and spread. Maybe the index finger is slightly turned out, okay? From here, my shoulders are gonna be, okay, slightly over, if not slightly in front of the index finger. And then I'm gonna raise the heel of my palms up, and I'm just gonna take a pause here, okay? So from here, for the count of 3, we're gonna lower our heel of the palm down. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, all the way up. And 3, 2, 2, up. 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 4. 3, 2, 5. 3, 2, 6. 3, 2, 7. 3, 2, 8. 3, 2, 9. 3, 2, 10, boom, and rest. Okay, from here, the last one we're going to do here is something we just introduced earlier in the week. We're going to just kind of put our knuckles together. So making a fist, and we're going to put our knuckles together like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have our elbows and our forearms on the ground. I'm going to try and maintain this contact of the knuckles together. From here, my chest is over, my heart is over the fist, not my face. So I'm not sitting back, okay? From here, I'm gonna look to posture up, trying to lock my elbows out, but keeping that contact with the ground with the knuckles, okay? From front view, what we're doing here, guys, is elbows are flared out. As I posture up, I'm going to, okay, keep that back of the hands on the ground, and then again, come forwards and then boom, come up. Let's go into this 10 reps by yourself. Now, if you can't quite lock your elbows out, that's okay, do your best. Okay, and if this is accessible to you, you should be thinking, okay, can I maintain my weight over my hands as much as possible? What I mean by that is, can you actually keep your chest over your fist, even when you lock your elbows out, okay? Okay, 10 reps by yourself. Once you're done, just sit up so I know you guys are done. And then we'll go into our preparatory work, okay? So, good. Okay, so we're going to go into just a little bit of preparatory work for the spine and obviously the shoulders a little bit. Okay, obviously this is what we need for being able to go backwards a little bit. So we're going to start with our bow and arrow. And just as a reminder, what we're kind of looking to do here, guys, is we're going to be in this side lying position. Okay, knees are going to come right the way up. We're going to have both our hands stacked on top of each other. Now with the top hand is the hand that's going to be doing all the moving, okay? We're going to initiate every rep by reaching forward first. Now effectively what we're doing here is the shoulders at the top are reaching forward. That way when we draw that hand back, okay, so elbows stay close to our side, okay, we're going back and then we're looking to drop the elbow down towards the ground. Effectively we're looking to squeeze the shoulder blades. So from the other side, what that looks like is, you know, we spread and then as we come back, guys, make sure the shoulders are not nowhere near the ears, okay? Where shoulders are away and the elbows are not just coming back, but they're also looking to come down towards the ground, okay? We'll go for 10 reps per side, okay? Be mindful, okay, about pausing at the back just for a second or two. Here we go. We're gonna reach and we're gonna draw, drop, pause, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Once we're ready, we'll go to the other side. Okay, so again, knees are nice and stacked, nice and high. Hands on top of each other. Let's go with reaching forward first and then draw back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Okay, so from here, we're going to go onto our front and we're going to go into skydiver. Now, skydiver, as you guys remember, okay, is hands are back behind us. The big idea here is my fingers and my tippy toes are reaching back behind me as much as possible, okay? Now, as we come off the ground, we're going to use everything along the back of our body to pick ourselves up, okay? So that in the upper body, we're using the stuff in the between the shoulder blades to turn our hands. So look, my palms facing up. My palms are going to face up at the start. As I squeeze and turn my hands, my palms are going to face down to the ground. Okay, so that's what's lifting my upper body up. Now, at the lower body, I'm going to use my butt to lift the legs up. So everything's working together. So what we'll do is first rep, we'll hold for 5 seconds. Then we'll kind of bang out 10 reps. The 10th rep, we'll hold for 5 seconds as well. Okay, here we go. So neck nice and long and coming up, we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay, so from here, we're going to be on our side again, and this time we're going to go into our T-spine rotation. Now, what this, guys, is we're going to have the side leg position, but the bottom leg is going to be straight. The top knee is going to be bent, okay? This way we block the lower back up. Now, it helps to have the top knee quite high because that way I can use my bottom hand to trap that, okay, top leg, okay? Now, the top hand is what we are using and moving. What I want you to think about here is we're going to be reaching away from our body as much as possible, and we're going to look at those fingers for as long as possible, okay? Nice and simple, coming down. Now, there's a point when we reach overhead that the hand has to do something funky in the shoulder joint. This is why it's important to have your elbows locked and always reaching away to create space in the shoulders. There should be no pinching, no pain, nothing like that, okay? Now, as we do this movement, the key thing is obviously we're going to be heaviest as we reach back. So look at this knee, make sure it doesn't come up off the ground, okay? We want everything to come from the top shoulder and a little bit of the T-spine, okay? So 10 reps, nice and gentle. Your goal is to slowly and gradually have your hands as close to the ground as possible, but you want to make sure the circle is still silky smooth. Here we go. Reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, once you're ready, let's switch sides. So bottom leg is straight, top knee is bent. Top knee is quite high, that way we can use the bottom hand to trap that top leg. Top hand is going to reach away, and let's go. Looking at the hand. Okay, a few cracks there. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay. That is it for the upper body for a little while, okay? We're just gonna go downstairs a little bit. So have a drink of water. We're gonna be going into our super couch variation, guys. So either a wall or a couch, okay? Something maybe underneath your knees if you're working on a hard floor would be ideal. Whoop. Okay, now, and let me just check if that height is good for me. Okay, it is, surprised. Okay, guys, so as we set up for the super couch, there are a couple of things that I want to try this morning, okay? So the offer is there. You don't have to take it, okay? And, you know, it's almost better not to take this, okay? Just to kind of make sure that you are doing something that makes you feel good as opposed to trying something that just feels awkward and like not with it, okay? So effectively, like the way we have been doing super couch, the idea is to kind of work more in extension, meaning, we're looking to really open this front line up, right? As opposed to just, using the super couch variation where we're trying to get the belly of the quads, okay, released a little bit. Okay, so it's a slightly different context. With that in mind, obviously we're doing back bends. So today, what I want to offer up is like, as we open the hips up at the front, we also want to kind of use the back to extend. Now, if, okay, you're so tight and so restricted that just by getting into the position, you feel everything cranked up here, like let's leave the spine alone and let's just spend some quality time just opening this up because that's a priority, okay? However, if you're like, okay, then you can, that was awesome noise, by the way, okay? You can, okay, reach back with the spine. So this is what we're gonna do. So super couch, as you guys know, okay, knees going to be as close to the wall as possible, okay? And we're going to posture up. Now, normally what we say here is, trying to be, okay, tucking the hips, trying to have that lower back flat or the rib cage down. You should already feel this through the front of your thighs. And this morning, I definitely do because I did squats yesterday. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is you can simply hold this position, but use the butt to then drive you forward and look, okay, my front leg has to be quite far in front of me to help me keep stable, okay? And again, this should be coming through the thighs here, okay? Now, this morning, what I want you to think about is what we can do is we can slowly, and we can bend the elbows, we can reach back behind us. Again, I'm looking for my chest to go forward, my belly button to go forward as well. And then we're going to slowly try to reach back with the head. So effectively what we're doing is we are trying to create this shape. Now, if we are so stiff that as you go to do this, you can't move anywhere from the upper back and everything just is cranked in the lower back, that's a big no-no. That's a red flag. Again, if that's the case, just looking straight ahead, keeping the rib cage down, and then just driving your hips forward, that is plenty. Okay, so let me repeat that again. There's two things, okay? This is progression number one. This is plenty. We're going to be getting into the hips, okay? The next one, which is going to be using the spine on top of this, okay? Only if you're confident and able to, okay? So if we're good, we should already be in this position. And let's just kind of go into it, okay? So nice and straightforward, nothing too crazy. Okay, so we're going to start off with just driving the hips forward and we'll just settle down here, okay, for the next 30 seconds or so. So my glutes are on, I'm just preparing, okay. The thing is with the back bends, okay, again, it becomes really hard, especially in this variation, if the hips are not, okay, working together, right? So you want to make sure hip is the priority. So again, rib cage is down, everything is the front of your thighs right now, nothing in the lower back, okay. Okay, so if you want to try the next level, then we're going to slightly bend the elbows as if we're going to reach back towards the toes back behind us. Push the belly button forward, lift the chest up, head starts to rise to the ceiling. Glutes are non-negotiable. Slowly posturing up. Keep driving that hip forward. And slowly back it off. Hands on the ground and rest. Okay. So it's really, really potent. So be mindful. You heard me probably breathe pretty hardcore there. You have to use your breath as a tool to just settle down in that position. Okay. So again, if it feels like it's just cranking things and it feels like survival mode, that's not for us. Okay. So let's just kind of go into the next side, guys. Okay. And just start to set ourselves up. So again, knees as close as possible to start off with. Rib cage is down, and we'll just kind of settle down in this position, okay? So, we're not cranking anything up, just allowing ourselves to settle down in this position. So again, if, you're so tight that you have to be here, this is cool, okay? Just think about tucking the butt, keeping the rib cage down, and then slowly, gradually, you will start to drive your hips forward here, okay? So glutes are on, okay? Nothing crazy, just simple, straightforward hold. Still focusing on, okay, taking the spine out of the equation by keeping the rib cage down. Butts on, that's what's driving you forward. The front leg is in a position where, you are stable. When we do start to, integrate the spine, okay, those of us who are looking to integrate the spine, really think about this lifting up and arching, okay, as opposed to just cranking back. So we're trying to create space in the spine by extending, so reaching up first and then coming back, okay? This is good. All right, here we go. Let's integrate that spine if you are willing to try it. So slowly, hands reach back, elbows are bent. We're going to start with the belly button pushing forward first. The chest now lifts up, head rises. Glutes are non-negotiable. Whoa. Posturing up first. And then slowly, hands on the ground, boom, back it off. And then maybe you can rise, just shake things off, move things, okay? Just make sure your limbs belong to you again, okay? The idea there, just so I plant the seed in your head, is that, we're actually using the stuff along the back of our body to pull ourselves into that position, okay? As opposed to, dumping back. There's a big difference, okay? So if we, slowly, progressively start to bring awareness and start to use the stuff at the back, our body's going to be, over time, be okay with it. As opposed to suddenly just going back there, body's not prepared, we don't know what we're doing, it's a little bit awkward. That's when the body goes into this protective mode, right? This is why, again, breath is a really important tool when we do back bends, okay? So from here, we'll quickly go to upstairs again, and we're gonna go into our tabletops, okay? And with the tabletops, guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend time in this a little bit awkward position, okay? So again, I'll give you two options, and like we have done over the last couple of weeks. However, we're gonna work, I'm going to work the harder variation, okay? So this is pretty much the same from the lower body and a little bit upper body, just the hand orientation is a big difference. So often we talk about the fingers facing back, okay? So when the fingers face back, you can see the shoulders turn, okay? And this is gonna be, generally speaking, stronger and stable position for majority of us, okay? So tabletop, just so you guys are aware, fingers are pointed back, squeeze the shoulder blades, okay? We lift the bum up and boom, okay? So this is the normal tabletop position. So this is available to you, okay? This is gonna be stronger, more stable, and you're gonna be more confident here. The variation that I wanna kind of work, okay, is fingers facing forward. So now the hand orientation is different. Now look what that does to the shoulders. The shoulders roll in. Now this, generally speaking, isn't a strong or a stable position for most of us. So again, just be mindful, okay, that, we do the right work. The key thing here is to make sure the weight is predominantly more on your lower body. That way you can work to create space in the shoulders, as opposed to everything is, leaning back, and now we're dumping into this stuff here, and it's not nice, okay? Now, two things, okay? So your hand position, it's up to you, okay? The other thing, the second thing here is, you have the option of keeping the knees bent, or you can simply straighten your legs and walk out a little bit and look to still keep the glutes engaged, okay? So you got two things, hand position, and you got the leg, lower body position, bent knee or straight leg, okay? What we're gonna do is 30-second hold. We'll have a little pause, and we'll bang another 30-second out. So you can always go one thing first for 30 seconds, then the next thing for 30 seconds. If we're good, we'll go in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hips start to come up, set it up, and then boom. Now, eyes are to the ceiling, no matter what you're doing. Glutes are up. Okay, weight is predominantly on your lower body more. Add the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades to lift the chest up. Okay, ears are nowhere near the shoulders, and neck is long. Keep pushing the world away. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly down and rest. Maybe shake your hands off, okay? We'll go and do that again, okay? And we'll go in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hips come up, and let's boom, bang it out. So again, how much space can you create in the shoulders? Okay, what's your body line tension? Where is your weight distributed to? Okay, what's the head position? Can you use your breath to marry the movement? Glutes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly down and rest. Okay, shake it off. And then from here, we'll take it 2 upstairs again. Okay, so our hip flexors again. Now, okay, we're only going to do 1 set of these. These are going to be our long step pulses. Okay, now last week, I vividly remember I bonused you extra 10. Instead of 60, we did 70, I believe. So we'll do 70 today, okay, per side. Okay, so for this, pretty straightforward. Starting in this position, we're going to hinge back, take our feet back. Now, the key thing is this, okay? My front knee is slightly behind my heel, which means obviously I may need to take my front leg forward, or in this case, I took my back leg back. We want to make sure the posture is big. And then look at this. There are 3 things we're looking for. The knees to try drive forward, the heels at the back to drop back, and then by virtue, the hips are dropping down to the ground. So there are 3 vectors: forwards, backwards, and then down. The non-negotiable thing here is this: the spine is vertical because you're using the butt. So if you feel this in the lower back, that means the butt's not on and you're cranking your lower back. So that's a big no-no, okay? Remember, the spine is vertical. Effectively, we're gonna pulse in this position. So just going past what our normal position is. Here we go. Choose a side, any side. Take the position, posture. Maybe just take your hand and touch the butt just to make sure the glutes are on. Then drive the front knee forward, drop the back heel, and let's bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30, 40, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. Boom. I hope that was 70. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, to the other side. Boom. Taking a stride back. Position. Posture. Okay, so again, fingers, maybe just tap the glutes just to make sure they're firm. And if they're not, they will, okay, as you drive your knees forward, drop the back heel back. Okay, they should be on now. Posture, and let's bounce. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 20. 1, 2, 4, 6, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 15. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. Boom. Okay. We should be good. All right, guys. So quick drink of water if you need it, please. And then we'll go into our main body of work. Okay. So our high bridge rotation. Okay. So this is something obviously we've been playing with the last couple of weeks. We'll continue with this. And one thing that I hope you know through experience now is this stuff gets better rep by rep, right? So what I mean by this is, you know, as always, we say, don't try set a PB, don't try set a PB, right? Just take the first set or maybe even two to just familiarize yourself with what you should be doing, getting the body comfortable. Morning REM stuff, okay? Now from here, then what we're gonna do, guys, okay, is the big idea is thinking about this rotation of the spine, okay? So just watch this first. Often what tends to happen with this movement, okay, is, you know, we get into the position and look at this hand. People don't create rotation. We just step through and now we're stuck in this, what looks like a tabletop position because it is, okay? There's no, I can't do this. I can't reach back to the ground. I can't touch the ground. The idea, okay, from front view, okay, is this rotation. So from here, as you remember, we're going to turn the hand orientation because we know it changes the shoulder position. From here, I'm going to take a step through and look at this. Rather than throwing my hands straight up and over, I'm going to draw a circle. Now, drawing a circle is going to be look at the hand. I'm going to keep looking. Look, I can come into the ballments of my feet if I need to. I'm going to keep reaching. I'm going to try to get heavy down towards the ground. Slowly come back the same way. Boom. Okay. If I go the other way, same thing. Again, I am coming round. Okay. So I'm drawing this circle. Boom. And I'm pressing the ground away. I need to create space in the shoulders. It is very easy to dump into this space, which feels not nice. Okay. So again, draw that circle, get heavy down towards the ground. Okay. So we're going to do 2 per side, okay? Then we're gonna rest. So again, it's 4 reps in total, 2 per side to start off with. We're gonna do multiple sets of this, okay? So as a reminder with the setup, we're on our hands and knees, we can pop them off, turn your hands, take a step through, draw a circle, pause for a second or two, come through, and you can either rest or you can turn and go straight into the other side. Again, draw that circle. Boom. Okay, when you're ready, let's have a go. Okay, so I'm going to watch you do the first set, please. Let's have a look. Go for it. Nice, Jess. That's much better. Nice, Janice. Okay. So try find the ground, Janice. Okay, so lift the hips up a little bit higher. And then you create that circle really nicely. Now try drop down. So lift the hips up, lift the chest up to the ceiling more, lift the chest up to the, and try touch the ground. Boom. Okay, beautiful. Nice, John. Okay. Nice, Molly. Keep pressing away. Beautiful. Get heavy, lift the hips up. Okay. Nice. It's beautiful. I think I like the fact that Julie's getting coached by 7-year-old Remy. It's good. I like it. I like what I see. Good work. Good work. Okay, 2 reps per side, guys. Okay. You're looking good. That's really, really good progress. Everybody's actually pretty close to the ground, which is amazing. Okay, so again, we'll layer something slightly different in the second set. But now, guys, okay, we're going to go into downstairs, the hips. Okay, we're going to go into our horse stance. Good morning. By the end of this lockdown, whenever that is, we're going to be so good. Okay, we should be able to go horse riding anytime. Okay, so effectively, what we're going to do here with the stance is 5-step give or take. Okay, so some people may be a little bit wider, some people may be a little bit narrower. But what we're going to do is feet are fairly close. 5-step, it's going to start by heels coming out first, 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. In that 5th one, give or take again, our toes are facing somewhat forward. It is very, very common and natural for our toes to turn out to create space in the hips. That's what we're trying to avoid, okay? From here, as you guys know, we're going to allow the knees to travel forward and back. Using our butts, we're going to come down. Our sit bones are coming down, okay? So stay there, boom. From the side view, we're here, posturing up. No one's kind of like doing this to get down, okay? So no lower back arched or hinged posture. We're looking to bring the knees in line with the hips, which feels impossible, okay? From here, guys, one hand on the small of the back, one hand on the chest. We're going to hinge at the hips, looking to still drop the sit bones to the ground, keep pulling your knees back to the sides. And then we're going to drive the hips forward, posture up as tall as possible. You're going to push your hips as far forward as possible as well. And then hinge. And come up. This is number 2. We're going to do 5 in total, guys. Here we go. Hinge. Keep the spine long. And then drive up. 3. Hinge. Get heavy. Push the hip forward, but keep the sit bones to the ground. This is number 4. Last one. Here we go. Pausing for 5 seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Posturing up. Push the hip forward. Hold so nice and tall. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and tall. Okay, we're going to go into our second set, okay, of high bridge rotation. And just watch me here, guys. So all of you guys are actually doing this really, really well. And you are coming, that rotation is looking more and more solid. So here's 2 things that you can look to progress or like start to think about a little bit more. So number 1 is, okay, let me just do this from here so you can see it, okay? So the hand, all good, rotation is very good. Now what we're doing here, let me do it this way so you can see better. What we're doing here, guys, is, okay, boom. Okay, we're going so far back. Now think about when you come through, get heavy to as if you're gonna touch the ground. Not wide, boom. Okay, so that's the number 1 thing. The number 2 thing that you can look to also start to be aware of is your foot position. So we said you can lift the heels up, and you can still lift the heels up, but you can try put the heels down, which means you have to rely more on that bend, right, from the spine. Does that make sense, right? So effectively, we got the option of obviously coming with the heels up, or we can plant the heels, okay, or look to plant at least 1 heel. Okay, let's play with that. Okay, so again, 2 more reps. Okay, by yourself. Let me have a look at you guys. I suggest lift the hips up, Jess. Okay, bend the knees more. That's it, just there. And then boom, nice, Jess. Okay, so you need to make sure your feet are not too far away from you, Jess. Okay, otherwise you can't rely on your legs as much. Okay, so step through and push your hips up. Okay, nice. Make sure you're loading your legs up a little bit more. Okay, so try drive your knees forward. That's going to help you move a little bit better at the shoulders, guys. Yeah, nice. And again, at the back, lift the chest up, but drop the hands. So a little bit like what we did at the start with the spine work, as well as with the super couch. How can you create space in extension? So not just dumping down, but can you lift the chest up, but reach back? Nice, Marley. Oh, touchdown. Beautiful, that's good. I like it. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so from there, we're gonna go into, bear with me, just bang, there we go, okay. So from here, we're gonna come up onto our feet. We're gonna go into the lower body again, okay. And this time what we're gonna do here, guys, is, this is gonna look a little bit funky. We're just gonna go for 20 seconds of our middle split hold. But the way we're going to enter the middle split is through the horse stance, okay? So what I mean by that, okay, is we know what a horse stance is by now, okay? So feet are close together. Let's do it together, okay? So feet are close. From there, the heels go out first for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was awesome dance move. Okay. So from here, the toes are facing forward. Okay. Now we can come down. So again, my hips, okay, are sinking down. My posture is nice and tall. From here, I want you to just, smoothly walk your feet out. Okay. Like caterpillar feet out till your legs are straight. Okay. Your toes try remain as facing far forward as possible. Okay. So keep going as wide as possible. Glutes are on. Okay. And we're going to hang out here for 20 seconds from bang here. Okay. So glutes are on. Okay. So think about what you did with the horse stance. Good morning. The butt. Okay. It's working to keep the posture upright. So glutes are on at the back. Okay. However, you're also thinking about spreading your legs wide and pushing down through the outside edges of your feet as well as the inside edges of your feet. And down and rest. Okay. Exit strategy is up to you. Okay. So last one, guys. Okay. The last set. Again, we're going to go into the back bridge rotation. Okay. So I'm really cool to see. So everybody's progressed so well here. So again, the key thing here, lift the chest up as you try to drop the arms. Okay. If I say to you, you may not feel this or maybe already are feeling, think about the front of your rib cage is like doing this to reach back as opposed to like, fuck, my back is cranking. Okay. So that's another way to think about it. Let's have a look at what comes out of this. Okay. So 2 reps per side. And if you can, 2 to 3 second pause. Okay. When you're ready, let's get busy. Boom. Okay. Beautiful. All right. So from here, last little bit, we're going to go, guys. Same thing. Nice, Jules. That was really good. Really freaking good. Nice. Okay. So last little bit, same thing, middle split. We're going to go for 20 seconds. And my, proposition for you guys is like, we are warm. Okay. We know what we're doing. Let's see, kind of like how strong you are in this middle split position. So we're going to push this, So again, it may not look wider than the last set, but it should feel because, even if it's a millimeter, we're looking to kind of really work these outer ranges. So let's see what we can challenge ourselves. Okay. So middle split is what we're going to go for. 20 seconds is the hold that we're going to go for. Okay. Feet are going to be fairly together. Here we go. Heels out first for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sink down into the horse stance first. Okay, big posture. From here, start to walk your feet out. Okay, toes are fairly forward as well. Okay, and we're going to start the 20 seconds from here. Okay, squeeze your thighs. Okay, I like to have my hands as if someone's pulling me apart. Push them down through your feet as well. We've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exit strategy is up to you. Beautiful work, guys. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. Talk to me. How are we feeling? How are we doing?
Oh my gosh. Good.
I don't know if it's just it's warmer and it just feels better. But